Welcome to Football and the Kitchen Sink. Get ready for in-depth conversation from the world of high school, college, and pro football, plus some insight about the rest of the world. All this, along with some fun and humor along the way. Pull up a chair, grab a coffee or a beer, and join us. It's Football and the Kitchen Sink. Here are your hosts, Coach Schuman and Coach Depascale.
Coach, we're back again. Grab a coffee.
Busy weekend of sports.
Yeah, absolutely. I like our intro.
It's exciting.
A little comedy. There's like occasional jokes.
Or a little comedy. I like the voice. Voice.
You know.
But definitely a crazy weekend of football. Got a lot going on, games, super wild card weekend, got some upsets, got some picks that we thought were going to happen. And then ultimately you got the big one tonight with the national championship.
Absolutely. So
really looking forward to it.
Let's run down our picks from last week. How do we do? And including the Troy picks.
Let's go back and take a look at what we had. All right, so let's see. So you had the Colts versus Bills. You took the Bills. Okay, win. Rams, Seahawks. We both took the Seahawks.
Ugh, loss.
So Troy took them. So we're 0 for 3 on that one.
So did Troy take the Bills?
Troy took the Bills.
All right,
so all of us 3-0 with the Bills.
We're all 1-1 right now.
0-3 with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Troy took Washington.
Which it almost worked out for him, which is crazy.
We both took the Bucs.
What do you think, Taylor? What do you know? What do you have a crystal ball that Taylor Heineke was coming in?
I don't know.
Who earned himself some money, by the way?
Yes, he probably earned himself at least a steady backup job, if not a starting job.
Yeah.
Okay, so then those were Saturday's games. So we both went 2-1 on Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday's games, we had the Ravens and the Titans. You and Troy took the Titans.
Oh, that's an L.
I stuck with the Ravens.
Good win, good choice by you. Because I forgot what's his name. Lamar came back, right?
And he had a great game.
I didn't. That's my fault on the research end that I didn't look to see if Lamar was out those last 2 games, and I knew he was, and I forgot. So
I just like the Ravens to be in general, just their overall. Then you had the Bears and the Saints. Troy took the Bears, and we both took the Saints.
All right,
which is a lot closer game than it should have been, and I think, in my eyes, mismanaged because Mitchell Trubisky, man, he ain't, he's a pretty good quarterback. He makes, his numbers might not show it, but he puts his guys, you can't catch the ball in the end zone for a guy when you put it right in his hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't. Guys jumping off sides, stupid penalties. But I mean, that was a close game pretty much all the way through. Has me starting to to think a little bit about how good the Saints really are going forward. And then last night we had that debacle. And how crazy is this? All 3 of us took the Browns.
That's a big win for us. So it looks like you won yesterday. So I was 4-2, Troy was 3-3, and you were 5-1. Am I right?
Yeah, because the Seahawks screwed me as always.
That's a big job by you.
I
think that's your first, because bowl season I clearly won that.
Seahawks, man, every time. Although I did see that what's his name? Jamal Adams was playing with a torn labrum. I mean, that guy look, say what you want about him with him here in New York, but he straight up said it. He's like, look, there was no way I was missing my first playoff game. So I give that guy some kudos, but I don't know. I think the games this weekend, are absolutely phenomenal. I think these games of who's playing who going forward, I think are just great matchups overall and just like exciting football games that, people are going to want to watch. I mean, obviously, look, it's the NFL and people are going to be tuned in no matter what to watch these games. But for me, I'm just intrigued because, every one of them in my eyes could go, either way. I mean, some of the matchups, might be a little more one-sided than others, but, I mean, you're getting Tampa Bay and the Saints for, round 3 of the year. Always a good game. You're getting the Bills and the Ravens. I mean, I think that'll be an amazing game. You're getting Cleveland, who's on such a high right now, playing against Kansas City. And then you're getting, the Packers and the Rams. Now, I don't know about the Rams because they may have, blown it all in that first game. I mean, Aaron Donald got hurt. The guy who they tabbed as the starter got hurt, and then Goff had to come in.
Goff did a great job.
Phenomenal. How about just swallowing your pride and saying, all right, let's go? I mean, but not even so much that. I mean, the guy's hurt. He just had freaking thumb surgery how many weeks ago? And he's got to come in and make things happen. So if there's one game that I think stands out as far as like kind of an easier pick is, I think, Green Bay over the Rams. But those other games, man, I know for a lot of people, they're going to think the Chiefs are all in, ready to go. But I don't know, man. There's something about that Browns team. They're playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. It seems to me like they're just like young and cocky enough to like not really care who it is. I just think they're going to get after it.
Yeah. The Browns, man. I mean, a lot of things went their way early on, which obviously gave them the huge lead.
For momentum. And look, I have never been a Roethlisberger fan at all. Stands out as far as like kind of
okay, sorry. Technical difficulties.
I've never been a Ben Roethlisberger fan. I know, some people whatever, but just not a his fan. I think it's over, man. Like I think it's over. He's supposed to make 41 million.
He did throw for 500 yards.
4 picks.
Yeah. I mean, you can't say he wasn't, early on people were crying that he wasn't giving effort. I don't see that at all.
I think that's just him, though. You never see like he's giving effort.
Well, he throws so natural, such a natural.
And he's so big. It's just
powerful style of throwing.
He ain't moving, you know what I mean? Like he's not trying to get hit, I'll tell you that much.
No, he's so powerful.
But they don't have a running game. And in all honesty, I think karma is huge. And I think Juju Smith-Schuster, with his comments about the Browns, all of his nonsense, dancing on logos all year, kind of just set that tone.
The logo dancing king.
For the Browns to just come in and say, you know what, dude, like, whatever, let's go. Because if the Browns get up on you, they're going to be sitting pretty because they have such a good running game.
Absolutely.
I mean, they got Kareem Hunt. They got what's his name? Chun? Nick? What is it? Nick?
Chubb?
Yeah, Nick Chubb. Yeah. I mean, dude. Come on. And they're doing all this without OBJ, which in some eyes might be a bonus to some people. Some eyes,
it depends on how you look at that.
Landry is just as good. He's been just.
Well, Jarvis Landry's great.
You got Njoku at tight end, who obviously a lot of people don't even And then on the other side of the ball, you got, Garrett running around, rushing the passer. I mean, these guys can play some ball. Now, you're going against the Chiefs, so it is what it is. But I don't know. The Chiefs aren't invincible.
No, you're right. Well, Chiefs aren't no one's invincible.
But I think the best game of the weekend, a lot of people are going to say Saints Bucs, but that Bills-Ravens game, man, I really want to see that.
And Bucs Ravens, yeah. So the Bucs game, the Bucs just always, even though I tell you, Washington played great. They played
that front four is scary and going to be scary for a long time.
Who?
Washington's front four.
The front four is great. Good, very good, very good.
I mean, when you can get pressure on the quarterback with 4. You know what I mean? Like you're doing something right. And now we know Tom Brady's not the most mobile or whatever, but he was going down a lot.
Well, if you want to stop Brady, I mean, Rex Ryan showed you how to do it many, many years ago. Just you have to be able to get there. But But if you could put a lot of pressure on them and keep hitting them, that's the only the Giants did it in
the Super Bowls.
Super Bowl. You know, you got to force him out of his rhythm. If he gets in rhythm, forget it. I mean, it's just even still now. You know, he's got so many weapons with Antonio Brown.
Brown, Goodwin. You know what I mean?
Evans. Goodwin dropped like 3 balls, but
I mean, you're looking at those. You basically have 3 number 1 receivers.
Oh
right?
yeah, they're
those guys go to another team. They're number 1 receiver.
Awesome.
You have a tight end in, probably will probably go down as one of the best tight ends to ever play the game. And then you have Fournette in the backfield, who's a bigger guy. You know what I mean? Like you just have these weapons, and not to mention, how many wins does Brady have as a quarterback in the playoffs? Like that experience at some point is going to show and come out. I think I saw a statistic posted about him that he has now beaten like the amount of different teams he's beaten in the playoffs was something ridiculous, was more than any other QB even has as wins in a playoff.
Wow, yeah, that's incredible.
He has more wins. He has wins against more teams than any other quarterback even has playoff wins, period. Something like that.
The Seattle game, I was a little confused as to what the plan was on offense there. And obviously I'm not there, so, but it was just they never seemed in any rhythm. So I was,
look, I look at their their offensive coordinator, Schottenheimer, right? He never really has. I don't know. Anywhere he's ever been, I can never really try to figure out. I can never figure out what the heck he's trying to do offensively. Is it this? Is it that? What is he trying to establish? That kind of just goes along with, I think, who he is back from his days with the Jets, to his time with Seattle now. It's like offensively and Seattle used to win with their defense, but it's not the same team. You got Wagner there, you got Adams there, but like their defense just isn't as strong as it is. And in all honesty, the beginning of the year, Wilson was winning games on his own. And, at some point that runs out, and that's kind of what happened to them. But kudos to the Rams, man. I mean, guy goes down in the first half with a big time injury, scary injury. You kind of don't know what's going on. You got a guy who's hurt, who was the starter, now has to come in and make plays. And they just, did what they have to do. And, their reward is now they get to go to Green Bay and play, Aaron Rodgers. So good luck with that.
No doubt about it. Pete states Brady has probably 2 to 3 more wins left this year, so.
I could see them in the in the Super Bowl. I definitely could.
Absolutely.
If I had to rank those teams in terms of, who I think is going to be there, you got the Rams, Packers, Bucs, or Saints. I think it's going to be Green Bay. I think it's going to be Green Bay. I really do. But I think if the Bucs get through the Saints, then I'm taking the Bucs in the Super Bowl.
So the matchups next week again are
Rams, Green Bay. That's the first game. Ravens, Bills. They're both Saturday. And then Sunday's games are Cleveland and the Chiefs. And then to close it out, Sunday night, Bucs and Saints.
Saints look pretty good.
Depends on what, I don't know. It just seems to me like it depends on what team you're getting.
Good game. Who does Green Bay have again?
The Rams. They have the easiest path, I think.
The best game. Well, the Chiefs is because everyone wants to see Chiefs. That's a cool game. But the best game is the Bills.
Bills and the Ravens.
That's a great game.
Old school, like, I don't know.
And you got 2 quarterbacks that are like young.
I'm definitely rooting for the Bills. Even though I love the Ravens, I love Lamar, I love John Harbaugh. I think he's a great coach. Love everything that he does,
No,
but
the Bills are the underdog, so
the Bills are just like, I don't know. I just like the way they play the game.
Bills Mafia.
Could you imagine what that place was like up there with only 6,000 people allowed in the stadium or whatever? Like, oh man, first win in the playoffs since I think 1994.
Did anybody? The Seahawks had no fans. Did anybody else have fans? Who else had fans? The Bucs had fans.
The Bucs had fans. Washington did, obvious. No, that was in the Bucs played in Washington. How crazy is that? Because of the way things are, Washington won their division.
Oh, right.
Home playoff game.
Right. So right.
Horrific. You have a 10
They
win
had
team.
no fans.
No, none.
So they who had fans and who didn't?
Bills had fans.
Seattle, no. Redskins, no.
Correct. Browns, Pittsburgh, I don't know.
Right. Which NFL games had fans?
Well, okay, so you said, Colts, Bills, yes. Rams, Seahawks, no. Bucks, Washington, no. Ravens, Titans. Bears, Saints, Browns, Steelers. That's what we're...
Pittsburgh had fans.
Okay.
Or what was the other one?
Bears, Saints, Ravens, Titans.
Bears, Saints. Was that the Saints?
Yeah, that was in New Orleans.
So they definitely had fans. And then what was the other one?
Ravens, Titans.
Where was that? I can't.
Tennessee.
Was that Ravens?
No, it was in Tennessee.
Oh, then they definitely had fans. Definitely had fans. That's interesting. That's
yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no.
I got to root for the Bills because I know Harbaugh's won a Super Bowl, correct?
Against his brother.
The Bills have had just so much bad luck in the Super Bowl.
How many times weren't they in it like 4 times and never won any?
4 times lost.
In the 90s, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Jim Kelly. Who was their head coach? What was his name? Old guy, right?
You mean who was the quarterback back then? Jim Kelly.
No, who was the head coach of the Bills back then?
Marv Levy. Marv Levy was the head coach.
But yeah, it's been a long time, that's for sure. The Ravens seem to be there every year. The Rams are in it again. The Bucs are now in it. You got the Browns in it. Saints are always there. I mean, so you're seeing some new faces. Green Bay, Kansas City, those are the teams that are usually there. But it should be interesting. I just think they're good matchups for the weekend. I really do. I think that's a good bunch of some good games to watch, some interesting matchups to watch.
Yeah, I think the matchups are acceptable. Pete, I watched the Marv Levy 30 for 30. I'm trying to think if I watched that.
I definitely did. It's with Jim Kelly, I think, right?
I'm pretty sure. Marv Levy's still alive.
I don't think so.
I mean, he was very old back then.
Yeah.
Marv Levy. I think he might be still alive. Marv Levy. Guess how old Marv Levy is? My man, still alive.
80.
95. That's awesome. That is awesome. I don't care if he never won, even though he got there 4 times. I don't care if he never won a Super Bowl. That is just awesome in itself. And I love his coaching path. Interesting coaching path.
NFL route or no?
He Not initially, no. He was this is pretty his first head coaching job, you ready for this? Was in 1958. It's not even fathomable probably for you. But he was at New Mexico. He went 7-3 and 7-3 at New Mexico. That's pretty damn good. And then he took the job at Cal Berkeley. Never quite really got there. Got to like middle of the road, 4 years. And then left there as he got to like 500. Went to William & Mary. Never phenomenal there, like middle of the road, kind of. 500, basically, a little bit below. And then he went from William & Mary to then 5 years he was, I don't know what he did in those 5 years, but maybe he got fired at William & Mary. I guess he did. He went to the NFL, kicking coach, Philadelphia Eagles, special teams, Washington special teams.
What year was he with the Eagles?
Eagles in 69. And then took over the Montreal, what were they, the Alouettes? The Alouettes in the CFL. Okay.
So he just jumped over Niagara Falls.
Went right over there. Did actually really good there. Pretty good there. It was 43 and 31.
Well, that's probably where he developed that, his passing game. 5
years there. He won the Grey Cup in his last year. He won 2 Grey Cups. I'll take that back. He won 2 Grey Cups in 5 years and 5 playoff appearances. Okay. So that's pretty good, right? And then, he took over and was the head coach this guy's been a head coach other than 5 years when it maybe got fired after William & Mary, 4 years, I guess. His number of years as head coach is astonishing. Anyway, he went to Kansas City where he kind of was bad, then got to middle of the road, then it went to bad, back to bad. And then I guess he must have got fired, I guess, and then became an assistant again for a few years. And then he got the head coaching job at Buffalo where he started out bad in 86 and then really won a lot of games until like his last year when I guess he kind of retired. Because that was his best record of all, actually, was at the Bills. Interesting enough. Isn't that interesting? So he was actually his best at the Buffalo Bills. Then he retired as he got older, which, by the way, he took over the Buffalo Bills, which was 86. He was, guess how old? He was 61 years old when he took over the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his best run from 86 to 97, 11 years when he was 73 when he retired. Is that interesting? But it wasn't like he was an old head coach. His first head coaching job was in college,
right?
In 58. So he was 33. His first head coaching job. I mean, you're talking a guy that was young as his first head coaching job, but didn't become the great Marv Levy. I guess CFL he did. You're probably in the Hall of Fame there for winning 2 Grey Cups.
Oh,
but,
absolutely.
I
would definitely think so.
Right. But the way it worked out in his career, because the CFL, obviously he's not the NFL, he still had to kind of prove himself. Got to KC, didn't work out as well. And then when he came back to Buffalo, he was like, it's actually amazing. See, never lose hope.
Well, I think it has something to do too with, that offense that he ran that was new and kind of different than what a lot of people were doing, because they used to just chuck that whole thing around all the time, right?
What's that?
But I think when he brought that wide open offense to the NFL from the CFL probably had a lot to do with it. Defenses weren't used to that stuff. You know what I mean? He drafted, Thurman, he got Thurman Thomas with a back that could, do a lot of different things. Jim Kelly, who could sling it around. He did a lot of things different.
Was Andre Rison there?
Yeah, that would have been his year. Don Beebe, right?
Don Beebe.
He also had what's his name, Bruce Smith.
Really they had some Bruce Smith. They actually had an unbelievable defense. Bruce Smith. They had another DN that was real good. Who was it? We got Steelers chiming in. Chuck Noll. Chuck Noll was great. He's won four Super Bowls and being unfortunately my Cowboys. It's pretty good stuff. A lot of good interaction on a Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's a Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah, great interaction on a Monday. The Monday drive. We're now. Are we now a Monday drive show?
Yeah, we're a drive show.
We're a drive show, like basically 4:00. Basically, and by the time we actually get rolling, it's almost 4:30. So we're basically a drive show.
Everybody coming home from work, whoever does go to work still.
And once you start teaching, we're gonna have to push you back to probably 4:30 anyway.
Maybe. We could.
I guess you could. I don't know. I don't
make it happen.
Oh no, you might be back. That's right, because
the schedules and whatnot.
Schedules earlier, right. So that's awesome. Awesome stuff. So that's some Bill stuff. So that's why we're all like, we like it's a great story. The Ravens have the most exciting offensive player, period, in Lamar Jackson.
Hands down. I guess you could say that because he has the ball in his hands every single play. But look, man, Pat Mahomes is exciting. Now,
is he more exciting than Tyreek Hill?
Well, that's why. In order for Tyreek Hill to be exciting, Mahomes has to be on point. I just think some of the things Mahomes does, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Now, I know he doesn't, he's not like Lamar is flashy, can run with the ball.
Right.
He's like that wow factor, that Mike Vick, that I would compare from my day. But I don't know, some of the things with Mahomes where he puts that ball, some placement, that type of stuff, like just some of the stuff he does with his eyes to move guys around, stuff he does pre-snap. I think that's a close call. It's a great question.
Ooh, Lenny calls Bills by 2 scores.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, that's bold.
That is bold. And it does say, though, Lamar is the most exciting. Mahomes is the most explosive because he can throw the ball down the field. Now, if you say Lamar's legs maybe are explosive, but I think Lamar's the most exciting because anything can happen because he can run – and then he might throw the ball but Mahomes is so explosive where he could fire the ball down the field like this, and it's a touchdown. You got Tyreek Hill sprinting down the sideline. No one can run with him.
He's
the fastest player.
If you look at the 8 teams that are left, you can probably make an argument that other than I'd say one of these teams, they all have top 10 quarterbacks in the league. And we can go through them if you want. You got the Bills with Allen.
Top 10.
Okay. You got...
were we just basing it off this year, basically, or history?
Yeah. No, I mean, like either way, I think you can kind of now. Some of these guys are young and haven't really put
young though. When they're young, you gotta kind of.
Then you have Jackson with the Ravens.
Okay.
You have
Jackson with the Jackson is a top 10 this year.
Mahomes. He won the MVP last year.
Mahomes is number 1. I mean,
now this is one that's questionable. Is Mayfield?
Who?
Baker Mayfield.
He is definitely top 10 most explosive, meaning at any time, if Baker Mayfield gets hot, He can do anything. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback, but yet.
The Rams, you're going to have Goff.
I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback.
That's what I think. That was the only one in my book that was not.
See, I think Baker is see what makes Baker's like Mahomes light to me.
Lenny says Lamar is not top 10.
I disagree. I look, I'm taking into account like his ability to make things happen in a playoff game.
Now I got to defend the quarterback.
Are you gonna tell me that Ben Roethlisberger is still a top 10?
But then and then in the other game,
Rodgers is number 2.
Green Bay, you have Rodgers.
So
the Bucs, you have Brady, and the Saints, you have Breeze.
Mahomes and Rodgers are 1-2 right now, right?
And then you have Brady and Breeze.
Brady is 4 right now. Breeze is probably 3 or vice versa.
And then you got Jackson or Allen, Mayfield, and Golf.
If you don't have a top quarterback, you're not getting far. That's the bottom line.
That was my whole point of bringing this up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so
like you made my.
And that's why I say, like in the year, like is Lamar and Baker Mayfield at the point in their career where you're like, okay, these guys are like on Hall of Fame paths.
I do not think Baker is a top 10 quarterback, but I think he has the ability to make plays and
right in the playoff game. Guys,
I think he's excellent within his system. I mean, he's got those 2 horses to turn the thing around. You know, they have to, in order for the Browns to even come close to KC, they have to keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands, run the football, and just, you know what I mean? Like, time of possession is going to be huge. Now, out of that group, I would say, like, if you're, you know, who do you want? If you're out of this group of quarterbacks.
Well, who's won a Super Bowl so far?
That's what I'm saying. Rodgers has one. Breeze has one. Brady has one. Mahomes have one.
Well, Brady has a bunch of
4 of the 8 have 4 of the 8 have them.
4 of the 8 have them. That's amazing.
And then if you look at it, those other guys, I think, could be considered still
Goff lost in the championship, right?
Right.
Baker obviously hasn't gotten there yet. Lamar hasn't gotten there yet.
Allen hasn't gotten. Those guys are, but I would consider those 3 guys, quote, young.
Yeah, well, yeah, 3 of them young. Yeah, I mean, Mahomes is young, but he accelerated so fast. But this is still his 4th year or 5th year? 5th year? 5th year.
What's that?
Who? Mahomes is his 5th year now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so he's young, but he's really not that, like, he's been around a little bit. Whereas Baker and Lamar.
I would say Baker, you know, Mayfield, Jackson, and Allen are considered young. Mahomes and Goff are kind of middle of that road, right around where they're young. And then Rodgers and Breeze are old.
Yeah, Lamar's young.
Yeah, no, I said that. Jackson,
Jackson
and Mayfield are like the young puppies.
Yeah.
And you got your Mahomes and Goff are kind of settled in a little bit, still whatever. And then Rodgers, Brady, and Breeze are like grandpa.
Like Lamar is 24 years old. I mean,
right. And somebody had, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you can't win in the playoffs." Like, he's 24 years old, man.
Lamar's most difficult thing will be, because it's only his third year. Lamar's most difficult thing will be if, and this is an if, doesn't mean it will, because he's so young. He's 24. He's got 6 more years before the legs start slowing down. So, you know, like he'll get
to stay healthy.
If he could stay healthy, he got in the league so young that he could literally be playing for 9 years before the wheels aren't as good as maybe they were. You know, where he's got plenty of time to learn all the things he needs to learn in the NFL offense when one day the legs are not what they once were. So he'll only keep getting better. He's going to meet a point where his legs are going to be really good. It's probably going to happen when he's like 27, 28. And he's going to have the knowledge and experience to be a completely dynamic quarterback. When he has that, I mean, if he could do those things, he could really, really be tough.
So here's you want to read Lenny's top 10 list? Lenny's top 10 quarterbacks. You see
Lenny,
it?
we got Lenny's top 10. Let me see what we got here. Rodgers, Mahomes, Wilson, Watson, Allen, Watson?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, Texans.
John Watson. No. Allen.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of him, but he's nasty.
I think he's good. I want to see more leadership. I don't know if that's fair.
He did. He tried to show it, and they yelled at him.
What he tried to what?
He tried to do it. He asked if he could be a part of helping out with the GM and he'd give his feedback. So he gave his feedback, and they said screw you and went somewhere else. So now he said trade me.
Okay, maybe you're right. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Hard to be a leader when JJ Watt's on your team too.
Well, he still runs the offense.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying,
him and JJ Watts won out. So
Allen, Brady, Breeze, Herbert. Okay.
Herbert, no way. Not yet.
Stafford.
I like Stafford, actually. I think Stafford's had the unfortunate situation
of being in Detroit.
Just always being on never. Stafford is underappreciated. I heard there was I don't know where I saw it. There was something. Maybe it was NFL Network. It was about
the most underappreciated guy ever. Yeah.
They said that or maybe it was a QB coach. I can't remember. They said that Stafford could do amazing things with the ball.
I can only imagine.
You wouldn't know, but you don't get to see a lot of it because he's getting killed half the time. And
he's always playing from behind. His team is never good. That guy's got it to work. Matt Ryan. Yeah, he's gone.
He was. There was a point where he was. Matt Ryan, no. Stafford, he's on the border. Herbert, no.
Herbert could be an animal.
He could be. I think he could be.
You get the right coach in there. Oof.
I don't know. Mahomes just turned 25. Okay, so obviously he's 5 years in.
He's healthy. He'll go down as the best ever.
You think above Brady? Well, he's got to win
way beyond Brady. He's got so much more talent than Brady.
Yeah, but he's got to win that many.
That's what I'm saying. If that happens, now look, you got to here's the thing with him is I wonder, Andy Reid's kind of at the end of the run, don't you think? Maybe 2-3 more years for him. It's all about what Kansas City does, after that.
Good question.
Because there's not many things. You're not going to see many dynasties like the Patriots moving forward. I agree with that, Lenny. He says Harbaugh holding Jackson back. I agree with that. I think Harbaugh is a conservative type of
holding him back as far as
I would think offensively, just not letting him, not letting Greg Roman, really sling it like it would. I think they need another weapon offensively. I think the Ravens have always been kind of a ground and pound type of team, so that's what they lean with, win with defense, that kind of thing. But I agree. I think Jackson's sky is the limit. Jackson's limit is the sky. Did I say that right? I sound like Michael Jordan.
Can I send you one of these lights? I'm going to send you one of these. I think
I'm working on stuff for this week to change this thing up.
I might send this to you because one of these because I think it's Herbert is better than Lamar. I don't know. That's what Lenny says.
As a pure quarterback, I agree.
Yikes!
No, I agree. If Herbert has another year next year, like he does,
Lamar's throwing is good because he's because he's a threat to run. Right when the Ravens danced on the Titans logo.
Yeah, did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Listen, those two teams don't like each other anyway, so that stuff's going to happen. So when the Ravens sealed it, they went and danced on the logo. Big deal, whatever. Mike Vrabel will take care of it next year.
I don't like when anybody.
We talked about that. We hate that stuff.
Yeah, but it's
what's going to happen.
like it's amazing.
If Juju was dancing on my logo, like we would have a 15-yard penalty before the game started. Like
so.
It's just different. You know what I mean? It's just different types of dudes doing different types of things.
Right.
But I think it's more like, look, you won the game, just walk off and get it's over with and done with. But had the Titans, I don't know. It's just something that, look, it's that interdivision. It's that division rivalry that is as is. It's ugly anyway. They don't like each other, so all that kind of stuff just plays to it. But you lost the game, dude. Whatever. They won. They can dance.
That's. I'm
gonna keep it right here for next year.
I mean, stick it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Well, Brady will be the most accomplished. Yeah, but he will also have the most yards. He'll have everything. He will have all the records.
He stayed pretty healthy.
Wins and stats.
Yeah, but I understand and agree with where Lenny's coming from. It's just like, you can do whatever, all this stuff, but that doesn't mean that, if you want to go out there and talk about, just firing a football, all that kind of stuff, like I don't think you're talking like skills and attributes and that type of stuff. Like I think Mahomes blows him away. Arm strength, a lot of these guys do. I don't even, but that's not what this game is. It's when you put it all together, like the question really is, how do you define a great quarterback? Are you defining him by his wins and losses? Are you defining him by his arm talent, touchdowns, stats, that type of stuff? Like you put all that together, you know what I mean? Like there are some guys that are going to lead other categories and, be better in categories and some better in another, I get it. So I understand where he's coming from. I basically, like I said, I think it comes down to what your, define what greatness is or the best is, and then you go from there. But Brady's always going to be, accomplishments. That's going to speak for itself. That's got how many Super Bowls, how many MVP, all that stuff. His accomplishments are always going to be there. It's not saying that nobody can't, come within it, especially with Mahomes being 25. He's already got a jump start.
Yeah.
Well, I think if there's one thing you could say for this weekend's games is you're going to see good quarterback play.
Well, you're definitely going to see good quarterback play. I mean, that's what makes the game go right now, right? I mean, if your quarterback doesn't prove to be one of the top dogs, then
you're not going anywhere. That's why, everybody spends their – that's why we're talking about the top draft pick, right? Like, who's it going to be? It's going to be a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like you go as your quarterback goes. It's just kind of how it is. That's why, Doug Pederson getting fired in Philly today. Huge news. Why? Because, he's a quarterback guy,
Let's take a quick second to before we get into Doug Pederson. So there we go. Hey, the receiver arch.
I like it.
Just in case you're interested in getting better as a receiver, you can go to receiverarch.com. Personally developed by our own Coach D. Okay.
Heck of a product.
You will get better as a receiver if you use the receiver arch. You go to receiverarch.com. There's the link right there on the screen. Custom developed for you. Receivers, old and young. Receiverarch.com. All right, Doug Pederson.
Excellent. News broke late this afternoon that Doug Pederson was going to be let go by the Philadelphia Eagles. We all saw the antics, I guess, or the way that the last game of the season went down. Giants fans were rather vocal about it. A lot of fans were rather vocal about it, either one side or the other. But 2 weeks after that, he's gone. Whether it be the optics of that last game or whether it just be the QB situation, the loss of the team, I don't know. A lot of things could have played part into it, but you're looking at a guy that's, how many years removed from just winning a Super Bowl, and now all of a sudden he's out as a head coach. It's an interesting world that we live in. And do we now see a reuniting of, Joe Douglas and him in New York? Which is what a lot of the chatter has been throughout.
Does that change? Because who was the leader before? Eric Bieniemy? I think I could see Eric Bieniemy going to the LA Chargers job.
I agree.
And now Doug Pederson. Remember, and Eric Bieniemy's originally from the West Coast. So
I think Pederson's a better fit in New York, to be honest. I think him having been in Philadelphia, been a QB in the league, I think just Philadelphia being the type of sports town that it is, probably in my eyes the most relatable to being a New York franchise or the city of New York. Kind of, and Philly kind of have that in your face mentality that we're going to, we demand this or we want this from our head coaches. I think he's the one that can handle it the best. That's the way I look at it. You also look at, he's probably going to have, he's supposed to be a quarterback guy. So he's going to have they're going to have to get a quarterback that he's going to have to work with. I just see that being the right fit, to be honest with you. And I know, everybody will be all over it and whatever, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Does he make that move? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't have to drive very far. Just right up the Jersey Turnpike to go to work. Not a huge deal. I think Doug Pederson could be a good fit there. I'm just curious. If Doug Pederson, it's been so weird the last couple of years, personnel decision wise, and
who goes to Philly?
Yeah, who goes to Philly?
And where does that job?
I bet Eric Bieniemy probably immediately becomes a candidate there too.
Where does that job land on the list of top jobs?
We got Chris back in the game. Today's the Monday drive, baby. We got all our guys in here today.
Does Philly become one of the top open jobs available?
What is their cap? What do they have left on their cap?
Well, you got to pay Wentz. Do you want to now? Does that deter you from taking that job?
I don't
knowing you're going into a QB situation like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to answer this one question. Who is the most underrated player in the draft for this year? Are we talking this year in a draft?
Overall, or are we talking like specific people?
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask him.
I think the tight end from Florida, Pitts, is going to be an animal. I think he's going to be a guy that can come in and play right. I think he can come in, play right away. I think he can. He can play in space. With what the tight end is asked to do now. He's going to be in one of that mid range where if somebody wants a guy to come in and play ball right now, needs that split tight end. I think he's definitely a guy that should be on the radar.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's with me not really taking a look at the draft.
I haven't really taken a look at how about the running back? How about the running back from Buffalo?
Is he in the draft or is he coming back?
Buffalo Bulls. Or was that
I
game?
thought I read that he was coming back.
Jared Patterson. Although in the bowl game, the other guy I think ran for more yards, possibly. I think.
Well, one of them is coming back.
He's Jared Patterson.
And how many first rounders will we see playing tonight?
He's a junior. I mean, he averaged an astonishing. Well, yeah, in the average of 5 yards a carry. 3,700. He's a 3,900 yard, 38 something, almost 3,900 yards in his career. He could end up in fives, mid fives, maybe higher. He'll go down as one of the best college running backs of all time, almost unheralded in a way.
Well, you're gonna see a lot of draft picks tonight.
Yeah,
You're gonna see possibly 2 first-round quarterbacks.
What's that?
You're gonna see possibly 2 first-round quarterbacks.
Oh, their freshman running back is one of our old. Do you remember when we did the camp in it's no longer there anymore, but that place that was in like the A&P, they had turf in the A&P.
Yeah, on off 17.
Off 17, and we did that.
The arena?
The camp we did with Jalen Berger.
Yeah. The young, when he was only a freshman. So
Jalen Berger obviously is a Wisconsin running back, carried the ball. Colby Burrell, who was in that, is a running back. He's running back at Buffalo, the Buffalo Bulls.
Right.
College team. There's Jordan Morant. Jordan Morant went to Michigan, I think, right?
He's there now.
The one kid who's the like the scat guy. I can't think of his name. He was from Philadelphia. I think he's still in his last year this year, transferred to Modern Day, but then they didn't play. So I don't know what he did for his last year, but
that's brutal.
Oh man, yes, the Kmart. That's right. Over and under first rounders tonight, 7.
Over and under.
Oh, Chris. Okay, gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Like I said, you got 2 possible quarterbacks. You definitely have 1 quarterback, if not 2. You probably have 2 or 3 receivers, running back. I'm sure there's a linebacker. I'm sure there's probably 3 linemen. You know what I mean? If you really look at the numbers, like either way, you're going to see some first round talent tonight. Alabama's running back will be an animal in the league. It's just a lot. You're going to see a lot of NFL talent tonight.
Let's see let's see. Trying to think of the best mock I can grab right now to see. All right, so tonight over on the first, you said first round 7. Is that what the question was? First round?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's not happening. I don't know if 7. So
I think you could do 5.
All right, so let's go through who we think first of all. So we would say Justin Fields,
1.
Devontae. I always want to say that. It's not Smith. It's 2.
Those are 2 given. 2 right away, bam.
2 right off the bat. Then you got the quarterback from
Mac Jones is right there.
He's going to be
Depending
on the board,
how he plays tonight.
right? How about the other receiver? Is he back or is he young? Waddle, yeah.
I think he would have been a first rounder had he not got hurt this year.
Let's see what Mr. McShay says. And ESPN, of course. I apologize immediately for the commercial that'll probably be ensuing any minute. I just want to read this. Who they think? Oh God,
There's got to be a lineman on some side of the ball. There's no way Ohio State doesn't have a lineman that's going into the first round. What about the linebackers?
What's that?
I'm just saying, overall, if you're going to look at it, I guarantee you there's guys at positions. Now, are we counting because I'm sure there are some first rounders.
Patrick Surtain.
Yep.
Second.
Heritage.
3 that probably will. I'm going, sir. Waddle would be 4, okay, that we think are probable. I'm trying to think if there's another one on Ohio State. Mac Jones, if he could, that's 5. I would say the over-under is 7 is a lot. I'd say under. I'd say you're going to get to 6.
Here's my thing.
6 max.
Look at this game, and then as guys become juniors, as they become seniors and move up, see how many of them eventually are, how many of these underclassmen that see time tonight are going to be eventual first rounders. Because I bet there's at least 3, 4, 5 that are going to be on the field in some capacity tonight that maybe aren't starters yet, but will be.
I mean, I don't know, because you got the defensive end from Bama. That's 6. I mean, Chris, that's great. Is that the Vegas line? Olave is going to be on the borderline. I think Olave's definitely on the borderline. That
Nick, one of these guys has a good game tonight. They could swing themselves into the first round.
Middle, and we don't know, like the linebackers, we don't yet know as much about. You know what I'm saying? When you get into the draft, they start running their times and stuff. Those guys can move up. Like one of, Bama or Ohio State linebackers, right? I think 7 is almost like the perfect over/under on it.
But how crazy is that to look at it? And you easily have an automatic like 3 top 10 guys right away.
Right.
2 from Bama.
It's going to be the more coaching positions that are open, the more quarterbacks they may draft, right? Because they might want to bring in. I mean, I guess it depends.
If Jones has a good game tonight, he'll be a first rounder, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, he's big enough.
If he throws for 3 or 4 touchdowns tonight, I would. Why are you not going to? If you're why are you not going to take a shot?
I might have to do my prospect podcast before, and I got to watch that whole game, man.
I mean, you think about it. Think about it, like if you're the Steelers sitting there, why wouldn't you take that guy?
No doubt. No doubt. I'm getting emails for my Success for Life podcast, which I resumed short. This is interesting because I probably should tell this group that we have another podcast. There's a group, I don't work with them, but I interviewed a few people that they sent to me for the Success for Life podcast, which is my interviews on there are great. I haven't done them in a while, but they said I get something every day about someone that they'd like to have appear on it, but I just haven't done the show in the same capacity because those are fun because it is interesting from a business standpoint. These are this show is tons of fun. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a little more serious because you're trying to figure out like what they did to get there. So it's really interesting. But
what they did to be successful.
But maybe we could see if these people might have like sports people. We get some sports people on the show. We definitely should have some of our most popular
guests.
Chris, Pete, maybe Lenny. Have them on the show as bring them on for 10, 15 minutes, which will end up being an hour anyway.
Whatever they have time for.
Yeah, the new league. The new league. Chris, what new league?
Your new
high school. He's doing high school or something.
He's
talk to me, Chris. Talk to me. So while we're getting that information from Chris, Chris gives us great information. When Chris is on, Pete gives us some good information. Lenny gives us his.
Talk about the division breakdown in the
high school Patriot Blue. I'm going to tell him to send it to me. Send me a link. I want to see it. I definitely want to see this.
The division breakdown in the Super Conference.
Is that the super? What is Patriot Blue? Is that like
that's just the division? You have the Super Conference, and then you have each division. That's the division. The Patriot Blue or whatever they are.
Got it.
So, I mean, I don't know what ours has a name. I don't know what it is within the short conference.
Well, our new division, I don't know. Did they name it yet?
Colonial or something? Hang on. I think I have it.
Did they put? Oh, yeah, they put it in the Shore Sports Network, that new division. Yeah. Oh, new division.
Oh, here we are the Constitution.
That's what. Oh, this is what because this is what helps out Northern Highlands where he does a video. It's Old Japan, Northern Highlands, Hackensack, Eastside, Clifton, PCTI. Oh, that's interesting.
That's good.
That's interesting.
I think it would be Old Japan and Highlands battling it out every year with PCT Clifton in the second tier and Hackensack Eastside in the lower side of that.
Yeah. Well, how was PCTI is usually pretty good.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a weird mix, but you're seeing, you know, you got your Bergen County teams, you got your Passaic County.
It is a weird mix. He's right. It is an odd mix. What? Well, because isn't Clifton like a group 5 too?
Clifton, Old Japan's a 4, Highlands 4, Hackensack 5, Eastside 5, Clifton 5, Passaic Tech.
The East Side's a 5. East Side's a 5. Oh,
I
okay.
think Eastside's a 5, and I think Tech is a 5. So it's a 4 and 5 league.
Interesting. All right, let's. So we moved into the game here.
PCTI scares me.
All right. Why? Because they could be.
They could just, you just never know what you're getting.
Well, although I think was it East Side that was good, pretty good this year, or was it Kennedy? Or they went back and forth from year to year.
No, it was Eastside. Eastside played well.
Yeah.
And then Hackensack, you never know where you're going to get. And Clifton, you never know where you're going to get. Like, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It definitely is a very weird league, Chris.
It's interesting. Hey. Yes, the East Side goes very sad.
Yeah, rest in peace. He just died.
Joe Clark did? How long ago?
Month.
Great. Tough.
Great movies.
Tough.
Could you
man.
imagine if you walked around school with a bat?
Tough. Oh, wow. He did just die. Wow. December 20th. I didn't even see anything on it. How did I miss that? December 29th, he just passed away.
They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they can call me Batman.
That's right. He was his kids were great runners. One was an Olympian.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and do it expeditiously?
3 of them were Olympians. All three of his kids. That's pretty
they're
impressive.
probably running from him his whole life, their whole lives.
He definitely. I'm sure he taught him. They taught him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely a good story. It's just a shame to see if it kind of went back that way. The schools are tough though, man.
He went to college at. Okay, we'll put you on in a second, Troy. Troy wants to go on and do. I guess we're gonna do the Bama picks tonight. We'll do it again for you,
Chris. That's a great stadium. Hinchcliffe Stadium. It's obviously abandoned and whatnot now, but man, it looks like a great atmosphere that would have been to play a game. Have you ever been there or driven by it?
Hinchcliffe, maybe. Oh yeah, I've been to Hinchcliffe. Yeah, of course. I think we had a scrimmage there once with Passaic.
If somebody ever wanted to fix that thing up and do it right, that would be awesome.
All right. That's interesting.
That's cool.
So he went to Williams-Patterson, master's degree from Seton Hall, honorary doctorate from U.S. Sports Academy. I don't know what that is. All right, Troy, we're gonna bring you on right now, but then you're gonna have to go and
what's up, Troy?
Things a little bit away so we could finish. Okay, you ready? Put the game down. Come on in here. We'll beam me out a little bit so we get you in here. All right, Troy. Okay, so tonight at what time does the game start?
Is it 8? I think it's 8. I hope it's 8. If it's 9, that's gonna suck.
We're like this.
I know it's so bad.
You know, even though it's so exciting, it's just like something like for me.
Because you're still just like
11 o'clock, 11:30. It starts to like just creep in on me.
And now that it gets dark so early, like it's 5:30. It's pitch black here. I'm like,
Yeah, Passaic
And
Stadium.
especially Parker being on the water, man. Like,
All right. Oh, yes. Okay. So yes, you got to have one ear here. Okay, you ready?
what's up, Troy?
All right. Can you hear Coach D?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? All right. So you got to say it loud enough. Your answers. Why don't you lay off the video games for a second, and you can't do both at the same time. All right. We need your answers to these questions. Are you ready? Tonight's national championship game
Yeah.
is Alabama Crimson Tide. I'll show you their logos. Just stop playing that for a second.
I'll put it up here.
Okay, Alabama Crimson Tide, and what day, Derek? I can't wait because I could chuckle at you, but it's all you. All right, so Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, so you can see. I'll show you what the logo is, so you can see. Okay, and then versus the Ohio State. This is their logo. You ready? See it? Oh, an elephant. Look.
I see.
Oh yeah, you see. All right. You're gonna kicked off the podcast.
He sees, Coach.
Okay, then the second team is Ohio State. Okay, Buckeyes. So we're gonna go through there. Okay, you gotta tell us. I'm trying to see if I can find Here's the Buckeye. Look.
I see.
No, we're taking this out.
No.
Then stop. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
That's the Buckeye. Did you see what the Alabama? Did you see the Alabama one? Since you were half paying attention.
No.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Which one? Who do you think is going to win?
Alabama.
Alabama. He chooses Alabama. Okay. Now this is a little bit more difficult. You
Good
have to
call.
give a score. Okay. You have to give a score with this. Okay. I'm going to help you a little bit. How many touchdowns between 1 and 8 do you think Alabama's going to score?
8.
8. What is that? 56 points?
56.
That's 56?
Okay,
Yep.
my dad.
Well, hold on. Now you're saying Alabama's going. The losing team, it has to be less than 8. Otherwise, it would be a tie. So the number of touchdowns you think Ohio State, who in your prediction, is going to lose between 1 and 7. Tell us.
1 and 7. This is I don't know.
Guys, give me a number. How many will Ohio State score?
1.
1.
56-7.
56-7. Troy, if that happens, people will call you Nostradamus. If that happens. 1 touchdown, 56-7. If that actually happened, I think Ryan Day would lose his
Am I
mind.
done?
You are done. All right, go play your games.
Okay, I'll sit right
Sit-
next to
Now, why don't you sit over there?
No,
56 might be possible.
No. I'm not gonna move.
56 might be possible. I don't see the 7.
I
What's
see
the
them
overall?
scoring at least 20, 28.
Now, we both think Alabama, right?
Yeah.
I guess the more important one on this, let's go through some of the props, the prop bets on this.
So some of the player props you got going. Let's see. Passing yards for Mac Jones over 380 and a half.
Over 300?
380 and a half. They always throw that half in there to screw you.
80.5 points?
Will Mac Jones throw for over 380 and a half yards?
Oh, 380.5 yards.
Correct. That's a lot of yards.
That's a lot of yards. He's going to have to throw in this game.
That's an underdog bet.
I think he's going to have to throw, and I'll tell you why. I think he's going to be over, and I'll tell you why. I'll give you my rationale. My rationale is I thought Ohio State did a great job on the run against Clemson. Now,
But they
obviously,
did give up 500-something yards to the Indiana quarterback earlier in the year.
Ohio State did. And what I saw in the Clemson game was they were really trying to run early on, and they just couldn't get it going. and then they started chucking it the second half. But obviously they were down.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, hindsight's 2020. They probably felt like they were strong and they could have put, but they obviously it ended up being that they weren't. I bet you if he chucked it around from the get-go, just started really just chucking it,
Just ripping it.
he might have thrown for 550, 600, and then they might have had a chance.
So now so you have that.
That's tough
And
because
then you have
wouldn't have-
Justin Fields throwing for over 309 and a half.
That's
Justin Fields throwing for over 309.
309 and a half.
I think if Ohio State's going to win,
They're going to have to do something, but I don't
they're going to have to run. He's going to have to throw for 300. I think he's going to throw for over 300. Well, if he doesn't throw for 300, they're going to lose. Even with that running back, even if he bangs out 150, 180, again, which would be, if he does that, they're probably going to win. He's probably still going to have to throw for close to 300 yards because Alabama's going to throw for 9,000 yards. And even if he doesn't throw for over 380, the fact that the prop is at 380 and a half means that they really anticipate him chucking the ball around.
Right.
And
if somewhere around there,
let's say he's highly efficient, right? Let's say
it's a plus 100 bet. So even though the odds are, stacked against it, like it's a close bet. It's a close call.
What I think is interesting is that
now TD passes, Justin Fields over 2.5.
Yes.
Mac Jones over 3.
Oh, will he get over 2.5?
Yes. Will Justin Fields throw more than 2.5 touchdown passes?
Well, according to Troy, now all these are no's, other than maybe Sherman. I mean, not Sherman.
So Justin Fields is over 2.5. Mac Jones is over 3.5.
I think Mac Jones is going to throw 4 or 5.
I do too.
And
I think he's going to have a monster night.
I think Najee is such a good receiver too. Like they're going to do a lot more of what they did, where they line him up at receiver, and then they line him back up at running back. And
so Najee Harris over 110 yards rushing.
I might take the under on that because I think they'll use him as a receiver. I think he's going to have
now Trey Sermon over 102 yards rushing.
Yes. I think even if they lose, he's going to rush for over 100 yards. Now, if
here's a great one. Mac
Jones
over 10.5 yards rushing.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
I would say
one
no.
scramble could be 10.5. No,
that's true, but yeah,
and this is the national championship. He's going to use his legs. No.
Yeah, but sacks are counted as
going backwards.
Yeah, I think he's going to get sacked a little bit.
Now, receiving yards. Okay. Receiving yards. How about this one? Najee Harris over 37 yards receiving.
Najee Harris. Oh, yes.
Devontae Smith over 140.
Well, what do you think on Najee? Do you think over 37? I think so. Because he's gonna get 2 slants that he's gonna take for
I think he's gonna get a lot of touches.
Yeah, and he catches those screens. Who's the other one? I'm sorry.
Devontae Smith over 140. How can you not go with him? He just won the freaking Heisman.
Yes. I mean, look, they're gonna. If Weddle is back, you can't double him, can you?
I don't think you can double him anyway.
Bracket. You're not doubling. Bracket. I'm not talking about
here. Rushing and receiving yards combined. Najee Harris over 147.
Yes.
Combined.
Yeah, I think he's going to do like an 80 and a 70 or something.
And then Trey Sermon is over 134.
What is that, rushing?
Rushing and receiving.
How many catches did he have last game?
I don't know.
I'm not sure how many. Weddle's not back.
No, he's not playing. He doomed him out.
I guess he's not playing. Well, Weddle will not be in there. It does change a little bit.
Total receptions. Najee Harris over 3.5.
But with Weddle not there, he's definitely getting over 140 because they're going to have to throw to him all the time. So, Waddle, I mean, they say Waddle. Is it Waddle or Weddle?
I don't know. I think it's spelled with an A.
Waddle.
Devonta Smith over 8.5 catches. That's a lot.
That's a lot of catches. I'm just doing a little research here real quick. I just want to see his seasonal numbers. How many times he actually had I'd say he had one game against Florida at 15. I'm going to say under because they're going to have to move it around. I mean, his average yards per catch for every game other than the one. Yeah, I think I would say he has been over 10 4 times. What is that? What do we got going on here? Oh, they have to show us ads.
What is that for what catches?
So he's been over Troy, please spare.
I like that music.
He's been over 10 catches 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Over 8.5 5 times.
What happened? Oh,
Out of Oh, there we go again. All right. I just wanted to see how many I just wanted to see how many times to go over 10. Every time I click back on ESPN, there's Verizon ads going on. So I guess I can't get to where I want to be without having to listen to that over and over again. And if I turn off the sound, that means I turn you down, Coach D. So we don't want that.
That wouldn't be nice.
I'd say I say under. I think he's going to get 8.
So the game tonight, the over-under, according to this, is 74.5.
Over-under is 74.5 on this game.
Mm-hmm.
Troy, you actually took the under. I think it's going to be like a 42 to like. I
think it's going to be like 41-28.
That's under. 72.5 is a lot of points.
I know.
Like you could win 50-21 and be under. That's a lot. Let's put it like this. If it's the over, if it ends up being the over, it's going to be a fun game to watch. Unless it's
total
it's the Troy score.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
Yes, which would be an under with 56 points for Bama.
So total points, Ohio State, 32.5.
Under.
Total points, Alabama, 41.5.
Over. I think it's going to be like a 42-28 kind of thing for maybe. Yeah. See, the thing that Alabama can do, like let's say it got a slight – Ohio State starts very fast. That's when and Alabama does too. But Ohio State does start fast, which would make it more of a back-and-forth game if that happens. if Bama gets up like a 14-0, he's just going to play conservative, force him to really chuck it down the field. And he's going to run the ball, right? So, I would say over with Bama. I can't see Ohio State unless they legitimately can go blow for blow. Then they have a chance to go over that score. Otherwise, Bama gets up. He's going to run the ball. It's going to be like a 42-28, 21 game. You know,
100%.
That's my guess. What do I know? I'm not Nostradamus. Like Troy over here, 56-7.
If that hits, though, I'm going to die.
I think Nick Saban's going to hire you as an intern right now, just so you can run the numbers.
Okay, just run numbers.
Just run numbers. Troy, we'd like you to go to your magic ball and tell us,
Who will win you?
you know, will we get these 5-star recruits? Yes, Mr. Saban, you will. Thank you, Troy. Thank you. Here's a piece of chocolate. Yes, that's all you need. Chris thinks under. My man Chris says
the over is a lot.
The over is a lot. All right. Any other props? Who's going to score first? You have that prop?
Touchdown score to score first. Najee Harris is plus 300. So those are your best odds. It's Najee Harris plus 300. Devonta Smith 350. Trey Sermon plus 550. Chris Olave plus 750. Billingsley plus 1,000. Then there's a bunch of guys at plus 1,000. Is Justin Fields going to be able to move in this game?
Well, that's the whole thing. This is the $50 million question: is how he feels. Did they have 2 weeks or one? Now I'm trying to remember. It was 2 week break. It was 1, 2.
1. NFL does 2.
It was 1 week.
Correct.
In between. So it's only been 1 week since. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time is wild right now. I was like,
it doesn't exist.
No, you're just in space. It's like a weird dimension thing we're in. Somehow we traveled into a new dimension. They didn't tell us though. Somehow we got into spun into this dimension that we're now in. I wonder what our parallel dimension looks like right now.
Way too much to think about.
Bama backers can run with him, so that's
run as fast as you can. Can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
You want to sing that to everybody, the gingerbread man? Go ahead, sing it.
Run as fast as you can. Can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
All right. Who chased after the gingerbread man?
The old lady, old man, the cow, and the sheep, the pig, and that's it.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And who takes out the gingerbread man?
The fox.
Fox takes out the gingerbread man.
It's good to know.
It is good to know. It's information you're going to need to know at some point.
And the gingerbread baby is safe.
Gingerbread is baby? I know.
Yes, it is safe.
I thought he just gets eaten by the fox.
No, because the gingerbread baby is different than the gingerbread man.
What's the mistake that the gingerbread man makes when he's with the fox? Do you know that? Yeah. What's the mistake? Tell him the mistake.
The mistake is the fox asked him to get on the nose, but the fox accidentally fell in his mouth.
Right. That's all right. Did you hear what he said? She said the fox told him to the fox told him to get on his nose, like he's taking him across the river, and the fox tells him, climbs the gingerbread. He said, "I'll take you to gingerbread man." Gingerbread man gets on his back, He said, "Oh, why don't you go climb up a little bit higher so so the water doesn't get you." Climbs below it. He's like, "Why don't you go on my nose so you're in a better position?" Or in my head, I guess, nose, head, and his head, I think. And as he goes onto his nose, head, he eats him, tricks the
Good way to
gingerbread.
do it.
Got to be careful of the fox. Okay, so
Gotta be very
wait till they're 24. Wow, Chris, that's a long way away for me. God bless you. I'm guessing at 24 they want money. Right now I guess got to worry about toys.
Sit down, little pig.
Okay. Occasionally I have to give them a look.
Are you gonna be able to watch the game tonight, or?
I'll be sleeping. He'll be sleeping. He'll be out cold in an hour from now, hour and a half. Out cold. So
Thank God for that.
Yep. So anyway, and twins. Oh, good for you, Chris. God bless you. That's awesome.
I posted this on my Facebook page earlier. Bama or Ohio State. Let's see. We got one for Ohio State. Bama 45-40. Ohio State. Bama. Ohio State. Ohio State.
A lot of Ohio State fans.
Here's one. I would rather watch paint dry while chewing glass. Is there a way for both of them to lose? She's a Notre Dame fan. Ohio State, Roll Tide, Ohio. Wow. All right. So on my wall, based off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, Ohio State. It's 7-3 Ohio State. Do these people know I hate Ohio State? I don't know. I guess not.
You hate Ohio State.
My former head coach says it'll be a great game. It's a coin toss.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, I'm rolling Tide all day.
Well, I actually care less who wins, but I just like saying Roll Tide.
I gotta take my roll time to the
I just want a great game.
I think it'll be a good game. I do. I think it'll be closer than a lot of people think. I really do think it all comes down to whether or not Justin Fields can do the things that he does well. He can do them without pain. And if he can do those things well, then I think it'll be closer than some. But ultimately, I think Bama's winning the game.
This is Chris's score.
42-17.
I think it's more like a 42-28 type deal. I mean, look, I like the way Ryan Day calls the game. Like, I thought last year against Clemson, that was the semifinal when they lost.
Correct.
They came out like it's just some bad things happened. That's why that was the one thing, even though I thought Clemson was going to win, I thought Ohio State had a chance because they really were close last year. And then it got out of hand. But they played really well early on. And with that running back, it made all the difference, right? So I think they'll be able to hang for the first half. I just Ohio State has to get up on Bama, and I think Ohio State might have to get up. They don't have to be 2 touchdowns. I think like a 10-point puts like a second score puts what? Oh, a second score puts the pressure on them that they have to maybe throw a little more. I don't know. I mean, this is a situation where I think Saban is really, really got a really established program with so much time invested in this kind of a year. I think he has a leg up over everybody because he's probably most senior coach by far who has the best program. So, now Ryan Day's in what, year 3? Is this 2 or 3? This is 3, right? Because he had 2?
2.
Is it 2?
2.
The only and the other negative for Day is not that it affects him because he's been in the situation before, but it is different. Like, this is his first championship game as a head coach. Now, obviously last year was Orgeron's, but they were so good. I just think the talent is a little bit more on Bama's side. And with all the other things with Saban and the talent being a little bit more on their side, I think it's just going to be uphill sledding. And the pressure on – I think Bama will make a much more concerted effort to stuff Sermon.
Right. I think that's where their focus is going to be.
Because he's lit people up because obviously with the
finally got healthy.
And exactly. In the Northwestern game – showed you could put field in some tough situations.
Right.
And Bama's going to have those players times 2.
Correct. Who's the better coach in this game?
I think they're both great coaches. I look, Saban's more experienced. He's got staff. His staff is more experienced.
I wish there was a prop as to whether or not Nick Saban slams his headset.
Why does he do that once a game?
Usually.
I'm going to have a talk with him about that.
Which team has more jersey guys on it?
I think I'd like to bring you in to talk to you about your head slamming. Your
OSU with 5 jersey kids.
OSU with 5 jersey kids. Well, they recruit jersey hard.
Yeah.
Who are the 5 guys? Where are they from?
One's I know one is definitely DePaul.
Does Bama have any jersey kids anymore or no?
I don't think so. Let me pull it up.
Minka, they had a little run. They had Minka and they had the other defensive back from down South Jersey.
Yep.
Anthony Averett.
Where was Minka last night? Minka show up last night?
I don't think most of Pittsburgh showed up until it was 28-0. Then they showed up. They did come roaring back.
Well, you had to have known that was going to happen. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, Mike Tomlin coach team ain't just going to die.
He's an excellent coach.
Top 5 coach in the league?
Well,
because that was the question today.
Well, so we got Arians, Belichick. Would you say they're top 5?
Belichick. I don't know about Arians.
Okay. How about Andy Reid? Definitely.
Yes.
Andy Reid.
Doctor Strange.
Buffalo Bills coach? Top 5?
Oh, now him and Mike Tomlin. How about that? Playing on the same team.
William and Mary in a versus game. Could have been a versus game.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's see. OSU. I'm just going through the roster tonight. So you have here's Javonta Jean-Baptiste is a Bergen kid.
Yep. That's the D end, right? Or like outside linebacker.
Sophomore D end.
Oh, I saw a highlight tape of him.
Oh, freak show. That's one. Let's see. I'm scrolling through because I want to see where everybody else is from too. Here's Ronnie Hickman. That's your DePaul kid. Yep. He is a redshirt freshman, 6'1", 205 from DePaul Catholic.
Got it. Brian Day used to recruit Jersey back in the day when he was at Boston College. That used to be his territory. So he's got relationships there. Who else?
Still going. God, they have guys from all over, dude.
Of course. Well, the majority must still be Ohio.
Yeah. That's Cody Simon. That's right. I
Cody
forgot
Simon,
him.
St. Peter's Prep.
Freshman. Oh, he's listed as a linebacker.
I love you.
I love you, buddy. All right, who else?
Dun, dun, dun. Ohio, California, Georgia. That's right. Tyler Friday. Prep Bosco kid.
Bosco?
Yeah. Yes.
That's
He's
the line.
listed at 6'3", 265 D end.
The end.
Yeah. D
Okay.
end.
All right. One more.
Brooklyn, New York. Ohio. Hawaii. Tampa. Come on, where we got one more? Should be. Another New York, a Vegas, North Carolina, Buffalo, New York. Nope, that's it. That's all I see. So maybe only 4.
Maybe
Unless I
you do.
missed one.
All
Still
right.
not bad.
Pretty good. Does Bama have any?
Let's check Bama roster.
Let's see if I can do this faster.
I mean, I would think so. Your connections, I'm sure, probably.
What is
better.
your connection slower? Is that what do you think it is?
Yeah, probably. I'm working with all old stuff. I couldn't tell you last time I updated my world.
Really? Wow. Alabama. Yeah, I'm scrolling pretty quick. I don't see. It's mostly Alabama, Texas, Florida. Looks like a no. Yes. Kyle Flood Jr.
Oh, God.
Kyle Flood Jr., 6 feet 209 linebacker. From St. Joe's. I think that's Metuchen. I think. Let's see if there's anybody else.
What year is he?
Freshman.
So does he transfer with his dad to Texas?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I don't know. I have no idea.
Look,
What
I'm sure
if you love it, would you stay?
if he's a scholarship guy, though,
I don't
would
know.
he,
If he,
you know,
even if he
wouldn't
was,
you
he's going
even
for
be happy
free.
as hell?
I'm pretty sure in those situations they're going for free, whether they're a walk on or you know what I'm saying.
Right.
They're going for free. They're not charging the coach and the staff to send this kid to their school. I think that's one of the perks. So whether he's on scholarship or not, he's not paying. So does he stay? That's the question, because maybe free goes away if he doesn't stay, if he's not there. Right?
That's what I mean. Then he becomes a walk-on.
Whoa, Chris Latrella with wild call.
Is Shiano older than Meyer?
Did you see? Can you see those
Yeah.
comments? Oh, you can. Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
'cause I have the live comments. I have the live comments up.
Okay, good. You can see it. Good. I like the live. I like that live comment section stuff. I like
think
that
that's a hell of a call. Is Shiano
Wow,
older
really?
than Logan?
He a little bit, not much. They're in the same age bracket. Because
I
Irvin
think
was.
if a couple of years. I think if Shiano hadn't,
I
I
don't
would think
see
it's
it.
more of a possibility if he hadn't taken the Rutgers job already. I don't see him leaving Rutgers again.
I don't see him leaving.
I see
I
him
don't
staying until they throw him out.
I don't see him leaving. I don't see it. I like Chris's rationale, other than they've both coached together. Like insider information. No, I mean I don't see him leaving. I don't see it.
I think he loves Rutgers.
Yeah, I could
He
be wrong.
is the guy at Rutgers.
I think he does. I think he feels like he's got a mission. I think he's going to try and make sure he achieves that mission. And then depending on how it rolls, like if he gets
If he's
there,
still young enough.
then maybe that becomes
It's all
something.
about what he wants to do and what he's willing. You know what I mean? Because you have a feeling he's gonna have to deal with losing an offensive coordinator at some point. This guy's not gonna stay around.
He's getting paid more to be the head coach at Rutgers. So, I mean, why would you leave if you're getting paid more to be the head coach at Rutgers? What is he getting per year at Rutgers? He's got to be getting paid good. It was Big Ten, so
Go.
yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, no, I got he's $4 million a year. He's not getting that at the NFL. So he's staying. No way. Anyway, I think we'll do a little trivia.
Yeah.
Little college football playoff trivia. All right, let's see if Coach D can name the last three. Okay, I gotta pull it up. I'm trying to pull it up. Let's see. Let's see if this has it. If I can get it, I'm trying to get it here. The last three BCS MVPs, the BCS championship MVPs.
Joe Burrow,
Yep.
Here's again.
Correct.
Trevor Lawrence.
Well, I guess they do an offense and defense. Is that how they do it?
Oh, do they?
Because that's how they do it. So Joe Burrow was offense. Do you know his defense? That's gonna be tough.
No.
The Patrick Queen, the running back. I mean the linebacker. Let's see. All right, so let's go.
Last year's the national championship game was who? It was LSU, Clemson.
Last year's BCS championship game was. Oh wait, it's not called BCS anymore. What the heck is it called? I thought it was BCS.
College Football National Championship.
It might be CFP. It might be CFP now. Yeah, college football playoff. Yeah, so I labeled that wrong now, right?
So last year was LSU who?
All right, yeah, I'm going to it. All right, LSU Clemson. LSU 42, Clemson 25.
The year before 2019
Okay,
was
so I gave you the
Bama.
MVPs of those. So that was Burrow, Queen. The year before was Clemson, Bama. Clemson 44, Bama 16.
right. Trevor Lawrence.
Correct. You're not going to get the deep.
No.
The deep. Trayvon Mullen. All right, your last one.
2018 was who?
2018 was a game, right? 2017 season. Alabama beats Georgia 26-23. That was a good game. I remember that game.
That was the Tua game.
That was who?
That was the Tua game.
Mm-hmm. So that would be.
So Tua won the MVP.
Yeah, and Darren Payne on defense. You're never gonna. I wonder if you can get any of the defensive players. I bet you not. The year before was Clemson over Alabama.
Right.
He's actually beaten Bama twice. It's interesting. 35-31 MVP.
What year was that?
That was 16-17 was the championship game.
And that what was that game? That game was who?
Clemson, Bama. Clemson beat Bama. The last second pass.
That was his rookie year, right?
To Hunter Renfro. The last second pass to Hunter Renfro.
Right. In Tampa.
Yes, it was Tampa. You think you
What
know?
year did it start?
What? It started. It was 2016 season.
No, but I'm saying what year? When did the college football playoffs start?
2014.
So you've had LSU, Clemson,
Yeah.
Clemson, Bama. Bama, Georgia, Clemson, Bama. 2016 was who?
Clemson. 2016 game.
Right.
Bama beat Clemson.
Yay.
Okay, keep going. 2015 game.
Ohio.
2015 season.
Ohio State, Oregon. Was that Henrik? Whatever his name was, Coach Helfrich?
Yeah.
Or what?
Hencliffe, right? Or something?
Helfrich.
And then 2014 was who?
That was Helfrich.
Right.
2014 was Ohio. There was no 2015. I'm sorry, 2015.
So that was the first year
Yeah.
of the BCS. Or I'm sorry, the first year of the college football playoff was 2015.
Yes.
So you've only had 1 year. You've only had Bama's only not been in it two.
They weren't in the first one, and
They were in the first one and they
last
were in the last one.
but they're back in it. That's another thing. So when he's been kind of knocked out, like he lost in 18, then got knocked out by LSU, I think, and then so it's kind of 2 losses. I just don't see him losing this game.
No way.
Now, Ohio State was in it.
But Ohio State 2015 was when they had that crazy run with all.
That was Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Meyer. So that was when.
That's when what's his name won it as a QB who only started like 1 game.
Yes, and his OC was Tom Herman. OC was Tom Herman and Ed Warren. He did like a double OC.
Warner is at Michigan O-line.
He had he had Herman and Warner as co-offensive coordinators. He had
Vrabel was probably on his staff.
Fickle and Ash as co-defensive coordinators. Interesting. All 3 of the 4 became head coaches.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
And I bet if you look at Nick Saban's staff for every game every time he's in it, I bet you it's somebody different.
Now, Helfrich, offensive coordinator, when he lost to them, was Scott Frost, head coach. Defensive coordinator is Don Pelham. I never heard of him.
He was there forever.
Was he? Okay, there you go. No, it said first season.
Oh, that he came.
It might be first season as DC. He might have been there for Okay,
right.
The next year, Alabama. Can I turn the volume down? Thank you, sir. The Alabama won, and the offensive coordinator was Lane Kiffin, became a head coach again, and defense coordinator was Kirby Smart, head coach. Clemson. This is interesting. Co-offensive coordinators were Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott. Jeff Scott head coach somewhere?
Elliott's still there.
Yeah, and then Brett Venables, who that hasn't changed. Second season, the same thing. When Clemson won, Alabama now has Sarkisian for the national championship game, who's still the OC, and Jeremy Pruitt was his defensive coordinator. Right, he's not at Tennessee anymore, no, right? He just got fired, or
no? I think he's still there.
Oh, he's still there. Okay. And then let's go to the next one. Alabama wins. It's Loxley as the coordinator with Brian Dable. I think he's a candidate for a bunch of things now. And then Jeremy Pruitt, and Tosh Lupoy. I don't know who that is. Tosh Lupoy, that's not the who's the BYU head coach?
Saban does it, bro, with no matter who's there.
BYU head coach. And then Georgia's coaches were Kirby Smart. His OC is Jim Chaney, James Coley, defense coordinator Mel Tucker, who became a head coach. I think Colorado? No.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you, Troy. And then Colorado. Then Clemson, same guys. Same guys again. Still has the same guys. Alabama was Loxley's second year. And then Josh Gaddis was the other OC.
who's Josh?
Who is now at Michigan.
Right.
Who's
And then
Josh Gash?
Pete Golding and Tosh Lupoy.
They should call him Josh Bosch.
All right, Troy. Take a chill.
So
Yeah, there you go. All right. Then we come up to last year, which is Orgeron, Steve Ensminger, who retired, Dave Aranda, who's the head coach at
Baylor.
Clemson, same guys, all the same guys. And then now we have this year Alabama, Sarkisian and Pete Golding, and Charles Kelly's a DC. Sarkisian will be a head coach. And then Ohio State, it's Ryan Day, Kevin Wilson, who used to be the head coach at Indiana, right? And then Kerry Coombs and Greg Madison, who was he at Michigan, Greg Madison?
Yeah.
All right, that was the controversial
who's
thing.
Greg
So
Madison?
it'll be interesting.
And then Coombs just came back from the NFL.
Right. That's interesting. A lot of those guys, right now, Clemson has kept their staff intact basically the whole entire time.
Which tells you, like,
Interesting. They weren't in a
or maybe it's I just like working for this guy.
yeah. I think to answer Chris's question, I think 3. I think Loxley, Sarkisian, and Kiffin.
And Kirby Smart, I think, was gone.
Kirby Smart. Well, he said OCs, but yeah.
But I'm saying, if you look at coaches overall,
That was interesting. We got anything else?
keep going.
We got anything else? Are we good?
Go Bama.
Are we ready for? Are we ready for? I just want it to be a great game because I know that it will be, and that's going to be an exciting part of it. There's nothing like college football. Troy, we don't need you on the outro. We need to get our outro. You know what I'm saying, Troy? So let's get the outro. We didn't do any drops today, though. You know what I'm saying?
We could have. We got to get on that. Moving forward.
Yeah, we got to push the
Point of improvement.
point of improvement. There you go. There we go.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Football and the Kitchen Sink with Coach Schuman and Coach Depascale. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. If you like what you heard, leave us a review and be sure to tell a friend. We will meet you back here next time on Football and the Kitchen Sink.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll see you later. Listen, we got a great outro, man.
Go
I mean,
Bama.
It's going to be a great game. Take the under.
Let's
See
go.
you guys tomorrow.